This is Javi, bringing you my weekly series entitled Business Tips for the Entrepreneur. This is episode 5, Knowing Personality Types for Better Communication. In this episode, I'll show the various personality type norms and describe the characteristics of each personality type. You'll see how to immediately identify the type of personality that you're talking to and how to best communicate with them. What's your personality type? DISC, D-I-S-C, is an assessment tool. It's the number one tool used by millions of businesses every year to improve teamwork, communication skills with teams, and as a result, productivity. Likewise, DISC assessment could be used to know your personality type and improve interpersonal communication skills with others. If you know how to talk to someone so they'll actually hear you, you're more likely to save time and know precisely how you can help them and how they can help you. DISC is a non-judgmental tool used to categorize people's behaviors. If you take a DISC profile test, you can see what motivates you, what causes you stress, how you respond to conflict and relationships. DISC stands for dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. These are the 4 characteristics of this particular personality assessment. First, there's dominance. If you are a dominant personality type, you place emphasis on results, the bottom line. They are assertive. They are often blunt and sometimes manipulative. They take risks. They accept challenges. They are straight and direct to the point. How can you recognize them? Well, if they want to meet you or need you for something, they will not hesitate to come up and shake your hand. Their hand will often be in a dominant position, firm handshake, possibly on the top. Some say they're a bit narcissistic as they exude confidence in every situation. They're good at leading, manipulating, and delegating. They don't care if they're liked by everyone as long as their goal is number 1 and achieved. They have little time or patience for long-winded conversations. They want results. Most successful business owners are type D personalities. The second type of personality is the influencers. Influencers place an emphasis on persuasion and influencing others. They are open and value relationships above all. They are enthusiastic, often optimistic. They enjoy collaboration, and they do not like to be ignored. How can you identify them? Well, like the dominant personality, they're quite easy to identify. They are often loud, boisterous, and they wear bright colors, perhaps a nice hat. They like to be noticed, so look for those who stand out in a crowd, assuming, of course, the crowd is not filled with influencers. When you approach one, they'll usually put their hand out first to shake their hand, probably 5 or 6 paces before they even reach you. Oftentimes, they will grasp your hand in the other hand in a comforting handshake, or perhaps an embrace in some cases. They'll pat you on the back. They're long-winded. They enjoy the conversation. They're attention seekers. If they don't like you, they're the gossips. If they like you, they're the best salesperson and public relations individual you can find. These are the people that excel at being noticed. My Uncle Wilbur was the type to get noticed. His business, however, was not getting noticed, so he decided to meet up with some fellow business owners to see if he can collaborate and gain more customers. Well, Wilbur talked and talked and talked about his business. He told stories and gave a passionate history of how it all began. Unfortunately, he didn't recognize that his fellow business owners had been bored to death with his conversation and had long since decided not to do business with him. Poor Uncle Wilbur. If Wilbur had recognized the type D personalities in front of him, he would have known to come up to them with a prepared and brief proposal, and they, more than likely, would have said yes to doing business with him due to the short and direct interaction to which they are accustomed. The third personality type is S, steadiness. These individuals value cooperation, consistency, sincerity, dependency. They take their time, and they often have a calm demeanor or approach to a situation. Like the influencers, they appreciate a good relationship, but they are not easily distracted by bright lights. Squirrel! They are cool, calm, and collective. When they finally make their decision, they are very supportive people. These are the people who seek and value reputation and sincerity above all. They are the hardest to identify instantly. They often dress in unassuming clothes, they do not stand out in a crowd, and while they value a solid relationship, unlike the influencers, they will not come up to you until they are good and ready. The fourth personality type is the conscientious. Not to stereotype, but I like to think of these as the accountants of the personality world. They are the individuals who value accuracy, expertise, details. They will take quality overall. They are extremely independent. They are incredibly objective. They often fear being wrong, so they want to know every possible detail prior to making a decision. And like the steadiness personality, when they make that decision, it sticks. A DISC personality test is nothing more than a behavioral assessment tool. A business owner will often pay a professional company that specializes in DISC assessments to test their members of the staff at the highest levels to make sure they are placed in the most productive position. I was a project manager in a Fortune 500 company in my youth. I was in charge of a staff of 25 IT technicians, designers, and engineers, and we were constantly given new cutting-edge projects to work on. There were times I faced some conflicts with upper management. It seems every time I was instructed to do something a certain way, there was resistance on my part and on my team's to reach a consensus. After administering a company-wide DISC assessment, the department heads informed my immediate supervisor to leave me alone. He shared with me that he was given instructions to give me the project, the overall view, the deadline, and leave me to my own devices. At the time, my personality assessment showed that I was most effective when given a task, a deadline, and left to my own devices with moderate encouragement. My team became much more productive and much more efficient after that point. The personality types described in this video are very general and do not go into the level of detail as a professional assessment, as was my case. But as a valuable tool in communication, it serves its purpose. You can find free DISC personality tests throughout the internet. It is best to take a few to validate your personality type, because as they say, you get what you pay for. And for an internet quiz, it's not likely to be anywhere near as accurate as a professional assessment or company tests. Some of these tests run $500, $1,500, and $2,000 per individual, so you can imagine they put a lot of work into them. Now, one important note about this: while you can generally identify the overall personality type, we all have different levels of all four types in each of us. So don't think that you or someone else is only dominant or only influential. Personality is a very complex and varied concept. For the purposes of this video, we are only identifying the prominent personality type. In fact, each of us has a learned and a natural personality type. My natural personality type is close to center, but in the I quadrant. My learned personality type has me split between I and D. Hopefully this video has given you some insights on others' general personalities. You'll always see the D, I, S, and C arranged in this way in this circle because of the following. The upper types, the D and I, are more emotional and more instinctive. The lower half is more detailed or factual. The left half is more results-based as opposed to the right half, which is more relationship-based. And finally, here are some tips on how to interact with each type. When you meet a D personality, don't talk to them to death. They don't care about the details. They don't care about how you feel. They want the bottom line. When you meet an I personality, they want to be recognized and appreciated. I personalities will often sacrifice profit for a kind word. Compliment them. Appreciate them. They will spread the word about you and be your biggest loudspeaker. When you meet an S personality, be truthful, be sincere, and be patient. While they take some time to warm up to you, these are the most loyal of customers or friends once the decision has been made. And finally, when you meet the C personality, don't bother with feelings. They live for the details. They live for the facts. They are patient and willing to listen to you as long as you have something substantive to say. Don't expect an answer right away either. They will take their time, assess every detail before they come to a decision. But rest assured, the decision, in most cases, will be well thought out and correct. I hope this gives you some insight in communicating with others. whether online or in person, for personal or business reasons. Use this information for more efficient and effective communication with others. And remember, this is only a tool in communications. To truly get your point across with anyone, you must get to know them, what they like, what they want, and what they expect of themselves and of others, etc. These assessments are very useful in sales and business negotiations, but they are no substitute for exhaustive research on your subject if you're planning to win them over for the purpose of a sale or a business deal. Be true to yourself, be true to them, and the odds of success are greatest. This is Javier Unzueta with Javi's Woodshop. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.